Le pido al equipo de producción que por favor nos traiga algún invitado que tenemos por allí con el cual queremos conversar específicamente acerca de cómo está viendo el mercado. Su nombre, y a ustedes lo han visto en la pantalla, es Alain Lawrence, quien es el CEO de una firma importante a nivel internacional que se llama Balfour Capital Group. En su última intervención y en su penúltima intervención, Steve ha estado sumamente bullish en el mercado y nos ha dicho hay que olvidarse de lo que estás viendo porque el mercado tendería a ir hacia arriba. Mi primera pregunta, que obviamente la voy a hacer en español y después se las hago a él en inglés, es ¿qué está observando él del mercado ahora que estamos en esta banda de los 5.500, donde algunos marcan peligro en la entrada del mes de mayo? Steve, thank you for coming to our Tribune. You don't need a letter of presentation. You've been seeing, being a casual guest in our program. I would like to ask you about this trading range. And obviously, the low range is like a 5,100 in the S&P. The low was 4,800 or around 4,836 in around April the 8th. And then you call that you need to buy any retracement. And I would like your opinion now where we have this data coming. We have the non-farm payroll on Friday. So what is your opinion for the next few days, if you have any, and an explanation that you can give us about it? And thank you for coming, Steve.
Well, like always, thank you for having me on here, and anything I can do to, try to educate the viewers about what's going on is very important to me. Okay, what I can tell you is this, all right, the geopolitical events between the United States and China, they're coming to a resolution right now, and we're seeing that. The markets, this is a big day for Meta and the tech companies today. My opinion is as follows. We're going higher here. I mean, you're going to see two things happening. The first is the geopolitical events can only forecast the psychology of the markets. Okay, so not $1 has changed hands yet, and you're seeing how the implication of the psychology of fear. But what you're also going to see is a guy like Zuckerberg. Okay, he's a brilliant guy. You have to give credit where credit is due. Okay, and you will see, in my humble opinion, okay, because the market can humble you in a second, we're going to go much higher here in the United States, because the United States and China is also going to go much higher. The whole world is going to go much higher. All of it's going higher. Because when you want to be able to, all of it, meaning the US is going higher, China's going higher, we're all going to go higher at the end of the day. Why? Because what are you going to actually put your money into? I mean, you're going to put your money into a CD, okay? You're much better off being diversified globally. And that's what the market is actually telling you. The Hang Seng has gone higher, okay? Now with the geopolitical events, what we're going to see is companies like Facebook, Microsoft. I mean, Microsoft is writing, I think, 20% of their code via AI. All right, so the market is coming up and the society is coming up with new economies that are being created. And I think not only does the Trump administration understand that, they understand the reality of negotiations, and so do the Chinese. Okay. And at the end of the day, the two conjoined twins will be shaking hands because they need to. It's best for both of them. And that's my opinion.
So I have to applaud that, because I remember when you told us to buy the market, we collapsed. I was kind of mentally calling you out. I never called you back, but I was saying Steve was wrong, but I was probably in the wrong appreciation, because the market went back to this range. And as you've been speaking, and we interviewed a few minutes ago Ed Jardini, the market were lower, and for some reason they are buying the market in the last 10 minutes. Maybe
you just saw the market. You just saw the market. I mean, listen, the market was down 800, and okay, when you say that the volatility isn't here, it's absolutely here. Okay, the volatility is here because there's uncertainty. Okay, so when there's uncertainty and when there's fear, okay, you buy less, but you have to buy quality companies, and there are a lot of quality companies out there all over the world. It's all about the people who manage the companies, and the sentiment is the sentiment. The average investor doesn't isn't fortunate enough to see the entire global picture. And that's what the investor needs to understand, that the world is one, whether they want to accept it or not. Okay, it is one world based on a global economy. So how do you dance through the raindrops? The only way to dance through the raindrops, you never can own too much of anything, because then you're really taking just way too much risk. And you're going to be able to look back and look at the history of markets in general. And
Steve, quick question. We have around a couple of minutes before I have to start reporting the close, but I want your opinion, and I know you're pretty good at it, on actionable trade ideas. We are in front of this trading range, and what sector or specific companies you think are important to put a buy? If you're bullish, obviously, and asking you to tell me what we should buy, and if you have any recommendation that you think are important, we would like to understand that. If it's either a sector, an ETF, or if it's perhaps an individual company that you think it will be worth it to keep it in the portfolio for the next 14 weeks, and you can actually give us a kind of a summary in the next 90 seconds, please.
Okay, in the next 90 seconds, in my opinion, you have to try to own companies like Visa, MasterCard, PayPal, okay, companies in fintech that have high growth. On the consumer side, you can't go wrong by buying Procter & Gamble, all right, and Walmart, the big names. On the more speculative side, pharma is a buy. It's a buy in the healthcare sector. If you're ultra speculative, I would start picking up energy stocks here. I would be picking up Exxon. I would be picking up Valero in very small size. And I would be picking up the refineries. And as far as commodities, they're just long-term bullish. That's it. They're long-term bullish.
I'm very happy that you are coming to us, and I'm super happy that you've been right, telling us to basically buy the markets. And today I'm gonna probably, have a green, some sort of a ending. But before we go, we have another few seconds, let's say 40 seconds. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the Bitcoin, Steve. We never talk about the Bitcoin, and I know you know how to handle that asset class. Any opinion? Because obviously we see the Bitcoin holding now are down around 1% for the day, but still at the 94,000, people are paying a lot of attention to it. What is your opinion, Steve? What is the opinion of Balfour Capital Group about the Bitcoin, please?
The Bitcoin is driven by the ETFs, okay? And we know, okay, that the ETFs are controlling the Bitcoin, which means this: the Bitcoin will go higher, all right? But you have to understand this with the Bitcoin. The volatility is that extreme. What's 2-3%? But remember, today it's actually become a true asset class that has many correlations. What's the correlation between the Bitcoin, gold, 2-year notes, and NVIDIA? So these are all the new correlations that are being developed within the market. Just like there are relationships between WTI, West Texas Intermediate Crude Oil, and Brent, okay? So when there are new relationships that are developing, that's what you're going to see, because it's telling you, the market is telling you it has become an asset class. And in conclusion, the Bitcoin will go higher.
Well, we're gonna book it. You told us a couple of weeks ago to buy. You were right. Markets tank, and then you probably buy an opportunity, put a bid on it. You're saying that any retracement we should buy it back. We're gonna bring you back in a couple of weeks, perhaps, and then try to validate your opinion. Thank you for coming, Steve. Thank you for accepting our invitation to the show, and we'll get back to you pretty soon to bring you back, you and your team. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Victor. You have a wonderful day. Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity to speak to the public.